Hello, my little mathematicians. Today, we're going to explore the coordinate plane. If ever it goes too fast, feel free to pause the video and copy down what you need to and then unpause it and come back. Or if once we get down to the bottom, you want to try to graph some of them first, once you think you got the hang of it, pause the video, try it yourself, and then unpause it and come back and check yourself. Okay, so first off, the coordinate plane is formed by two number lines that intersect at right angles. So these two number lines that intersect perfectly at a right angle. Now these two number lines each have a name. This vertical one is called the y-axis. Okay, it's known as the vertical axis. Okay, the horizontal axis is known as the x-axis. Okay, that's the horizontal one. Now, each of these move kind of like a number line. So if you think of this, where they meet is in the middle right here is called the origin. O-R-I-G-I-N, origin. Okay, the origin is the point 0, 0, where the two axes meet. Okay, that's the origin. It's the point 0, 0 right here in the middle. It divides the whole coordinate plane into 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants. Okay, so again, these are each called quadrants. Okay, quadrant 1 is here. Quadrant 2 is there. This one is quadrant 3. And yes, they name them with Roman numerals. Okay, and then this one is quadrant 4. Now, if you're like me and you're like, I can't remember which one goes where, here's a little trick for you. You know I'm all about the tricks. What is this whole thing called? The coordinate plane. What does the coordinate plane start with? A C. So I draw a big giant C for coordinate plane, and then I just follow the course of my C. So where I started the C is here. This is quadrant 1. Keep going. This is quadrant 2. Keep going. This is quadrant 3. Keep going. There's quadrant 4. So they go in the order of C for coordinate plane. Okay. Now, in each of these quadrants, they each kind of go off where these points all kind of, if you think of it as giving a specific location. So if somebody were to like maybe draw a map out and they're like, well, how do I get to this place? Oh, you'd go over this many and up this many. So the x-axis tells you to go either right or left. The y-axis tells you to go either up or down. And so they label these with what's called coordinate points or an ordered pair. An ordered pair is a pair of numbers that give the location of a point on the coordinate plane. Again, a pair of numbers that give the location of a point on the coordinate plane. The first number in a coordinate point is the x-coordinate. It tells how far right or left to go from the origin. So you always start at the origin, and that first number, if it's positive, it'll tell you to go right. If the first number is negative, it'll tell you to go left. And if it makes sense, like think of this as a number line. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And then going this way from 0, it's -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on. Okay, we're not trying to trick you, like that makes sense, just like a number line. Now the y-axis is up or down, right? So if the second number, the y-coordinate, is positive, what does it make more sense that you go up or down if it's positive? Yeah, that you'd go up. And then if the second number is negative, that tells you to go down that many. So going up, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And then from the origin going down, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, etc. So to be in this quadrant, these coordinate points, so if you're like, what do they mean by x comma y? It'll basically be numbers inside of parentheses. And the first number to be in this quadrant, they would have to be positive, right? So it's going to be a positive x value. And then it would go up, so it would be a positive y. Versus to be in quadrant 2, they would go left. So is that a negative or positive x? That would be a negative x. And then they go up. Is that a positive or negative y? That would be a positive y. So if you have a negative x, positive y, that's somewhere in quadrant 2. To be in quadrant 3, what do you think? You go left, so that would be positive or negative x. Hopefully you said negative x. And then you would go down, which is a negative y. Okay, and then finally, the fourth quadrant, you'd go to the right, which is a positive x, and down, which is a negative y. So let's go ahead and practice some of these of how they would look. Remember, if something went too fast, you're welcome to pause the video to copy it down and then unpause it and join us. Okay, so if you got all of those, now let's see what they would actually ask you to do. Okay, they could give you the points and you have to label the coordinate values right here. Or they could give you the coordinate values, the coordinate points right here, and then you have to graph them yourself. Okay, so I'm wanting to write something like these numbers in parentheses to identify where these locations are. So first off, I need to find point A. From the origin, and if it helps, you could draw little loops, okay, to help you see where to go. And here's the one trick, okay? Remember how we said that 1 is right here, right? This is 0, this is 1. So some people make the mistakes of, if I want to get to here, they accidentally go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's at 4. No, it's not. It's at 3. You don't actually start counting until you physically move a space. So maybe if you draw little loops, it helps. 1, 2, 3. So it went over 3 and then down. So negative, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, negative 4 would give me point A. To get to B, I go left. So negative. Left how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. And up, so positive. And how many times up? Just 1. Okay, again, if you want to try some of these yourself first, go ahead and pause it. And then do it, unpause it, and check yourself. Okay, so for C, it's right here. You would go over 1, 2 to the right, so positive, and up, so also positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you see yourself making mistakes, maybe if you want to do the little loops, that might help you. Okay, for D, you're going to go left, so that's negative. And how many? 1, 2, 3. And down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was negative since I went down. Now for E, you're going right, so positive. How many? 1, 2, 3, this would be 4, this would be 5. And up, 0. You didn't go up anything, right? It's right here, so you went up nothing. F, this time you go over nothing. I don't go right or left anything. I go over nothing. And I went up 1, 2. All right, now this time, instead of giving me the points, they gave me the actual coordinate points right here, and then I have to graph them on the coordinate plane myself. So negative 5, does that tell me up or down or right or left? The first one always tells you right or left. And is negative, do you think left or right? It's left. So how many left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then negative 2, is that up or down? It's down. How many? 1, 2. So go ahead and draw that dot right there and then label it that that was point G. Okay, for H, this time you're going to the right because it's positive. So right, always start from the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then up 1, 2, 3. And there you go, that's point H. I is tricky. Okay, I, you go over nothing. So I just stay here. And then that's a negative 4, or is that a line? Okay, yeah, that's -4. So I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is point I. For J, it's negative again. So you're going to go left 1 and then positive. So up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people, before they do it, they like to actually number these. So they might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down -1, -2, -3, etc. And then that might help them find their points easier if you want to do that rather than counting each time. Okay, so we already did J. Now we're on K. We're going to go to the right 5, and look how nice this is. Now I just know it's right here, and then I'm going to go down 3, which is right there, right? -3. And then I can label that a K. So some people like to count each time. Other people like to do this. Whichever way floats your boat. Okay, for L, it's negative, so I'm going to go left 2, 1, 2, and up nothing. So I'm going to stay right there on the x-axis. Okay, and so that I'm going to label point L. And congratulations if you got all those right. There's one thing I want to add is what if right here they wanted you to say where each location is? Well, point A is here. Which one is that? I would just quickly do a C for coordinate plane for myself and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's really easy. Okay, so A is in quadrant 4. Find B, it's right here. That's in quadrant 2. C is right there in quadrant 1. D is in quadrant 3. E, it's not in, it's like, is it in quadrant 1 or 4? When you can't tell, it's actually on this line. What line is that? That's the x-axis. So it's not in any of the quadrants. It's on the x-axis. So where do you think F is? F is on this line, which is the y-axis. So if they ever tell you like, hey, please tell me the location where it's located, they're looking for you to identify what quadrant it's in. And if it's not in an actual quadrant, then put what axis it's on. And that's all there is to it. You have now mastered the coordinate plane. Congratulations, my little mathematicians.